For thousands of years, the stories of the Kurdish people have echoed through the rugged mountains and fertile valleys of Kurdistan. This land, a crossroads of civilizations, is the ancient home of the Kurds, a people whose history is deeply intertwined with Mesopotamia. Long before empires arose, Kurdish ancestors farmed this land and herded their animals. Around 3000 BC, the Sumerians, inventors of writing, carved the name Karda into clay tablets. This is one of the first times the Kurds are mentioned in history. The citadel of Erbil, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, stands tall, a silent witness to centuries of history. From the ancient ruins of Dohuk to the legendary birthplace of the three wise men in Ahmadiyya, the history of Kurdistan is rich and diverse. Even the strong Roman-era Dalal Bridge in Zakho shows us that Kurdistan was an important part of the Roman Empire. These ancient landmarks remind us of Kurdistan's significant role in antiquity. The Kurds' cultural heritage isn't just about ancient ruins and historical sites. It lives on in the vibrant traditions and customs passed down through generations. Kurdish folk dance, for example, is a lively expression of their community spirit and resilience. These dances, often performed during festivals and celebrations, are a testament to the enduring nature of Kurdish culture. Traditional Kurdish clothing is another important aspect of their cultural identity. The intricate patterns and vibrant colors of their garments reflect the rich tapestry of their history and the diverse influences they have absorbed over millennia. Each piece of clothing tells a story, connecting the wearer to their ancestors and the land from which they came. Kurdish cuisine, with its unique flavors and ingredients, also offers a glimpse into their ancient way of life. Traditional dishes, often prepared with locally sourced ingredients, have been passed down through generations. These meals are not just about nourishment, but also about celebrating the bounty of the land and the shared heritage of the community. Music also plays a vital role in Kurdish culture. Characterized by its distinctive melodies and rhythms, traditional Kurdish music is an integral part of their social and cultural fabric. The sounds of traditional instruments such as the daf and the saz resonate with the stories and emotions of the Kurdish people, bridging the gap between past and present. The Kurds' literary tradition is equally rich. Ancient manuscripts and poetic works offer insights into their historical experiences, philosophical thoughts, and artistic expressions. Kurdish poets have long used their craft to preserve their language and culture, ensuring that their stories continue to be told. Today, Kurdish heritage is not just a relic of the past. It's a living, breathing culture that is constantly evolving. In modern Kurdish cities, the blend of ancient traditions and contemporary influences creates a unique cultural landscape. The youth, while embracing modernity, remain deeply connected to their roots, ensuring that the ancient legacy of the Kurds is preserved for generations to come. Kurdistan's location placed it right in the path of many powerful empires. Over the centuries, the Kurds became part of the history of these empires, from the mighty Persians to the disciplined Romans. Each empire left its mark on the Kurdish people. In the 7th century AD, Islam arrived with the Arab armies. The Kurds, known for their fighting skills, were both participants in and witnesses to the clashes between empires. The Persian Empire heavily influenced Kurdish language, art, and literature. But the Kurds, always independent, held on tightly to their own language, customs, and traditions. From the 9th to the 12th century AD, Kurdish power and influence grew a lot. This period was a really important time in Kurdish history. Their culture, politics, and military strength reached new heights. The Kurds, known for their toughness and smart strategies, became a major force in the region. This time is often called the Kurdish Renaissance. It was a time of great cultural revival and intellectual blossoming. Kurdish poets, scholars, and artists made big contributions to literature, science, and art. The busy markets and cultural festivals of that time showed the rich and diverse heritage of the Kurdish people. Many independent or semi-independent Kurdish states popped up during this era. These states often had a unique mix of local government and cultural freedom. The ruins of old Kurdish castles and cities still stand today as reminders of this prosperous time. The Shaddadids, famous for their military strength, built a powerful dynasty. They were known for their strategic military campaigns and impressive buildings. What's left of Shaddadid architecture, with its complicated designs and strong structures, shows how great their rule was. The Rawadids, supporters of art and science, ruled parts of modern-day Iran and Azerbaijan. They encouraged an environment where intellectual pursuits thrived. Old Persian manuscripts and ancient Kurdish artifacts from this time highlight the Rawadids' dedication to cultural and scientific progress. The Hassanwahids, known for their good governance, ruled a large area in western Iran and Iraq. Their administration was known for effective governing and keeping society stable. Old Kurdish government documents from this time give us a glimpse into their advanced administrative systems. Saladin, the famous Kurdish sultan, united the Muslim world against the Crusaders. His leadership and military strategies were key to several important victories. Saladin's legacy is celebrated not only for his military skills, but also for his diplomacy and his efforts to unite the Muslim world. He was known for his chivalry and military brilliance. Saladin's conduct in war and his dealings with allies and enemies earned him a reputation for fairness and honor. Historical artwork and medieval battle scenes often show his bravery and strategic genius. This golden age, even though it ended with the rise of new empires, inspired future generations of Kurds. The cultural and intellectual achievements of this time left a lasting mark on Kurdish identity. Kurdish cultural sites and historical monuments continue to be a source of pride and inspiration, reminding the Kurdish people of their rich and storied past. The 20th century started with hardship for the Kurds. They were a people with a rich cultural history and a strong sense of who they were, but they found themselves caught in the middle of world politics and regional conflicts. When the Ottoman Empire fell apart after World War I, Kurdish hopes for independence were dashed by international politics. The end of the war brought new borders and new nations, but for the Kurds, it meant the beginning of a long struggle for recognition and self-government. The Sykes-Picot Agreement of 1916 divided Kurdistan between Turkey, Persia, later Iran, and the newly created countries of Iraq and Syria. This agreement, made without any Kurdish involvement, ignored the cultural and historical unity of the Kurdish people, and led to decades of conflict and division. The Treaty of Sèvres in 1920 offered a small glimmer of hope, promising a possible independent Kurdish state. For a brief moment it seemed like the Kurds might finally achieve the self-determination they had long desired, but that promise was quickly broken. The Treaty of Lausanne in 1923 replaced the Treaty of Sèvres, and the idea of an independent Kurdistan was abandoned. The Kurds remained divided, without a state of their own. The 1923 Treaty of Lausanne ended Kurdish hopes for self-determination. The Kurds were spread across several countries, each with its own policies and attitudes towards its Kurdish population. Kurdistan, once united by culture and geography, was torn apart. The Kurds faced repression and attempts to force them to give up their culture in the countries where they now found themselves, but they continued to hold on to their cultural identity and traditions. But the Kurds refused to give up on their dreams of self-determination, holding fast to their identity and language. Despite the challenges, they continued to fight for their rights and recognition, keeping their culture and language alive through generations. The 1900s were a time of great hardship for the Kurdish people. Spread across 4 countries, Turkey, Iran, Iraq, and Syria, they faced discrimination and oppression. In Turkey, their language and culture were forbidden. In Iran, despite brief periods of self-government, they were treated unfairly and neglected. In Iraq, they suffered terribly under Saddam Hussein's brutal Anfal campaign. In Syria, they faced constant discrimination. Despite these challenges, the Kurdish spirit remained strong. They refused to be silenced. The Kurdish fight for self-government found strength in the Peshmerga, the brave Kurdish fighters. United by their desire for freedom, the Peshmerga fought against powerful enemies. In the mountains, they waged a constant guerrilla war. But they were more than just soldiers. They protected their people. They built schools, hospitals, and helped build a system of government to prepare for an independent Kurdish state. The Peshmerga's struggle inspired others around the world. They suffered many setbacks and losses, but they never gave up. Their courage paved the way for a Kurdish autonomous region in Iraq. The end of the Cold War created new opportunities for the Kurds. The 1991 Gulf War gave them the chance to demand self-rule. The establishment of the Kurdistan Regional Government, KRG, in 1992 was a big step towards self-determination. Led by wise politicians, the KRG started rebuilding their land and invested in things like roads, schools, and hospitals. The KRG's success showed the world what the Kurdish people could do. This Kurdish awakening didn't just happen in Iraq. Kurds in Turkey, Syria, and other places continued their fight for their rights. The 21st century has brought both new opportunities and big challenges. The Kurdistan region of Iraq is showing its strength and resolve. The KRG is now a key player in regional politics, and the Peshmerga have been essential in the fight against ISIS. But the road to peace is still difficult. The unresolved status of Kirkuk remains a problem, and the relationship between the KRG and the Iraqi government is often tense. In Syria, the future of the Kurdish-led autonomous region is uncertain. The Kurdish people continue to face these complex challenges. The future of Kurdistan is uncertain and depends on many things. After centuries of struggle, the Kurdish people are at a crossroads. The Kurdistan region of Iraq must work to strengthen its autonomy. The situation in Kirkuk remains a problem. Syrian Kurds face an uncertain future. Kurds in Turkey, Iran, and around the world still hope for a time when their rights are respected. Whether Kurdistan becomes a united nation or several autonomous regions, the Kurdish people are determined to control their own destiny.